Hi guys, this is a game I played with Jeff. I'm playing Void Kula. He's playing Evil Ash on Octagon, which I encourage you to check out and try. I like Void Kula a lot, but not enough that I would want to play her at a major. And she's really good ever since Rain Flush came out and Dust in the Wind. She interacts beautifully with Dust in the Wind. Are committed for -4 speed after you use Kula's response, and it shuts down Trinity Geyser and No My decks, which are everywhere. So that's great. He's playing his Evil Ash that he's trying to get good with. So I thought I would tell you a UFS story, so you can learn a little bit more about me, and you can learn a cool story about UFS's history. And this story I'm going to tell you goes back to when I'm first starting to learn UFS. Sean Toysa, at the time he was recently Legacy Champion and Standard 2nd place. And so he's teaching me, and he loaned to me a Rashotep deck. So I'm going to Adventures in Comics and Games is where we played. It's our local store in Sacramento. A lot of good UFS players there, but I'm obviously the loudest, so you probably don't know, like Dylan, Robbie, a couple others that are retired. And I'm going there for like the second time to learn to play UFS because I want to learn a game that's not Magic. And it's also Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. There's a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players sprawled everywhere, laughing and chuckling and doing what you'd expect a hyperactive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player to do. And I'm just minding my own business, playing UFS with the 4 or 5 other guys there playing UFS casuals. And one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players comes up and he says, well, why would you even bother if you're not going to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Why would you, you might as well play Magic, but this is just sad. So there's kind of a uncomfortable stare down between his friends and us, the UFS players. But it just gets diffused eventually. There's no confrontation outside the staring. But we kind of keep quiet now, and the whole store gets a little bit quieter. And randomly, one of them says, hey, I want to learn this game. And so wasn't sure if he was being funny or not, but he wasn't. He wanted to pick up the game, and he starts playing with us, and Sean teaches him, and it's still really tense because we don't know if he's being funny, or and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players look like maybe they don't know if he's being funny or not. So we're sitting down teaching him, and eventually, a little bit later, I'm playing him and kind of walking him through the rules along the way. And he says to me, I don't really care about this game. I just wanted to, extend a hand in friendship so that maybe you could play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, not to belittle your game or anything, but I know you'd rather just play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because every other game is, garbage. And I say, well, after, being quiet and looking at him for a little bit, I say, well, I don't want to play a game that's marketed for 12-year-old boys. And then the Yu-Gi-Oh!, the UFS crowd there is kind of like, ooh. And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are like, oh, shit. And this guy looks at me. He looks me dead in the eye like I just killed his family. And after a little bit, he says, I'm gonna get you, kid. Maybe not here, but you haven't seen the last of me. Because those Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, they take their card games seriously. It's like a money game to them. It's almost like they're fucking drug smugglers or something. So whatever, I'm playing he leaves, go back to his Yu-Gi-Oh! Click, and so we're playing UFS still, and we get done. Just second day they're pretty good. I'm starting to pick it up. I can almost play a whole game without need to be reminded how checks or enhances work. And so I'm going home that day. but like the second street after I'm walking home, the second street after getting out of the store, that guy is waiting for me. And so I start to think, I like raise my hands up, but before I know it, I get taken from behind. This guy hits me in the back of the head with something, probably a bat, but I can't say. And I get knocked out cold right there. So I come to. I don't know how long I was out. I'm in some kind of basement. I don't see a way out. It's really dark. There's someone there with me. I don't know who it is. I'm laying on a bed of cards. I'm laying on a bed of cards, and I still can't. I'm trying to wake up. I'm just waking up from who knows. Maybe I was out for 10 hours or something. And the first thing, the first distinguishable thing I remember is he says, "Oh, you're up. Okay. Well, you thought you were cool. You thought you were cool trash talking in our game, the best card game. But now you look who's the fool now. Now you're stuck here. You're my prisoner, and you're gonna help me with this thing. You see, I got this puzzle here, this Yu-Gi-Oh puzzle, and if I do this puzzle, I become the Yu-Gi-Oh master. I have unlocked the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh power." And it doesn't make any sense to me because I'm still kind of waking up. But then he leaves somewhere in there and me waking up. And so by the time I'm fully aware of my surroundings, there's no exit. I'm laying on a bed of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and they're all the same card. It's Xavier's left leg or something. His name is Xavier the Forbidden One or something, some Yu-Gi-Oh card. And they're all left legs. They're all the same card, and I've been laying in them for probably, some of them are stained with my blood from the back of my head, which I don't like to think about that. I don't like to think about how it felt when I put my hand to the back of my head. But so there's kind of blood on some of the cards, and they're all the same card, Xavier's left leg. What he must have meant was this is some kind of puzzle, because it looked kind of like a puzzle, the card isn't complete, all these left legs got to go somewhere to make Xavier the Forbidden One, and he wants me to figure this puzzle out for him so he can become the Yu-Gi-Oh champion master himself. And for all I know, he's done this to a bunch of people, because these cards are kind of old. Looks like these cards have been here for a while. I can't even see the ground. Maybe there's blood on the ground. Who knows? Maybe I'm the 10th one that's been here. He's done this too. He's abducted, and he forces them to try to figure out this ancient secret to being the Yu-Gi-Oh master in these cards. So after an hour I spend in futility trying to find a way out, everything seems sealed off. It's concrete walls. It's a really hard ceiling made out of something. And can't crack open the ceiling hatch door, because it's a basement, about a sub basement. And so then I get to start thinking about these cards, all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Xavier's left leg on the ground, and it's like a puzzle. I got to figure out he's gonna make me figure out this puzzle, or I'm gonna die here of starvation. So I'm looking at all these cards, flipping them all upside down and examining them all, trying to figure this out. And I start trying to look at them different ways, put them in different arrangements, and try to figure this out. And eventually I'm trying to think of why would they even make this card? This doesn't make any sense. And so I'm trying everything. I'm putting all the cards together in these weird ways, and eventually I put them together in this formation where all these legs form some kind of Egyptian guy, and it's got to be Xavier, because why else would it be called Xavier's left leg? So I put all these left legs together right, and then they all start to glow. I guess he was right. So there is some kind of secret to these cards. There must be some kind of heart to the cards or something inside these. So the cards are all glowing, and slowly rising up from the glow is Xavier, the Egyptian guy. He gets up, he fills the room with his light because he's like some kind of otherworldly being, and he like takes up half the whole room, and it's a pretty big room, and he says in a really deep voice, "You have figured out the secret to Yu-Gi-Oh! Mastery. You're the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary hero. I'll grant you one wish, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master." So I don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm just like, okay, get me out of here, Xavier. I want to go home. And he's like, okay, your wish is granted. You will go down and hit. Okay, shut the fuck up. And so he gives me my wish, and I go home, and I just like, oh, it's been like a day. Oh Jesus. It's a good thing I didn't have work that day, but so I try to care to my head trauma, and I'm okay. I make it out okay, and I just try to like no one would believe me. No one would believe me even a little bit. So I just try to forget about it, and so I just do what any self-respecting card player would do when they face any adversity in their life problems. I just delve deeper into my preferred card game. So I just drowned my sorrow basically in UFS. I just tried ever since that day. I've tried to become the best UFS player I could, because that's like my getaway from the day that happened to me. That's the story of how I got good at UFS. That's like what drives me. That just seeing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player smile at me. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna get over this. I'm just gonna do UFS. The UFS is gonna be like my medicine to that. So when I went back the next week, I didn't see that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. Like, I guess I asked around, like, why wasn't that Yu-Gi-Oh! Player back here? And they all say like, oh, I don't even know who that was. He's not a local here. And I asked like the store owner, who was that guy? How does he come here often? No, he doesn't come here often. But so I'm kind of weirded out. Like, did that even happen? That maybe that was all like some kind of dream, like it wasn't real. But I can feel the scar on the back of my head. That's real. I have a day in my life I can't account for. So I don't think it was fake. I think that's gotta been real. That Yu-Gi-Oh! Player was some kind of, he must like go to different stores and does this. He abducts random people. He abducts random card players that he like sees excellence in, and he thinks like, oh, maybe this guy will unlock the Master Exodia left leg principle chaos theory for me. But I did it, but he probably didn't become the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master like he thought he would, because I was the one who did it, even though I was his slave. So he didn't get the Yu-Gi-Oh! Power. So maybe like he came back to his basement, and there were just a bunch of dusty cards there when he got back, and I was gone, and he thought I escaped. I can't say. Maybe he's still out there abducting people to figure out the secret to being the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master and having the heart of the cards. So I play UFS for a while, and I distance myself from that event more and more every day, and until I almost don't think about it. Days go by where I don't even think about it a little bit. That was like so several months later, and we're starting to hold UFS locals standard events. We're getting more people, more new people converting from Magic and other card games to play UFS with us, and it's good. I got my own cards. I basically traded and bought cards from around, and I get my own Rashotep deck together because Rashotep is my favorite character. I like the art a lot. I like Ryan Barger's art the best. Shadow War is my favorite set, probably just because the art, it looks so Western, and you're like not like weeaboo drawing style. It's like legitimate Western style art. I like that a lot. So good days go by. We're just playing UFS. I'm trying to get really good at standard. We have like a PTC like in Scotts Valley, and I go there and I don't do good, but I try my best. I use Miska. That was like right after Red Horizon came out, and I'd use Miska and I do pretty good, and life is good. So, but something weird happens on the a little bit after that PTC. I'm at the store and I see that guy again, and it made waves of ice like came over me because of how scared I was. But I tell myself that probably didn't even happen. Like, it's been so long, it's probably like a made up memory that you made of yourself or something, because it probably didn't happen. It's been a while, and just too many inconsistencies. So I get over it, and I just try to keep myself and not ignore him. But this is the weird thing. He gets up into us and plays UFS like he's been there this whole time, like these whole past few months. He just plays UFS like he's been there, like he's Sean's friend and everyone knows him, like except me. Like he talks like I'm the new guy, and it's the weirdest thing, and I can't explain it. But like I feel like he's some kind of, for lack of a better word, wizard. Like he kind of like bends reality somehow. Like maybe I'm still in some kind of like prison of his. Maybe it's his revenge for me stealing the secret of the heart of the cards from him. It's hard to say, but so it's like this guy appears out of nowhere, like he's been here this whole time and everyone knows his name, and it's like, aren't you a new guy? It's like, no, don't you know Dylan? And so this guy Dylan, like, it's like, why? I don't remember seeing him. He's like, he's been here this whole time. How could you not know him? And this I can't deal with this. So like I go home and I try not to think about it. Like, this probably isn't even real either. I probably just have some kind of borderline personality disorder that like makes me hallucinate weird shit. But I go there the next week, and he's still there, and it's still the same as last week, and I still can't figure it out. Like this, I don't know this guy, but like I just remember him from locking me in his basement and telling me to figure out the secret of the Xavier's left leg. So eventually I gotta get answers, because I can't just like brush this off and pretend like this is all a coincidence or I'm just crazy. So we're in a match now, and he's playing Z-May Fire, because apparently he only likes to play Fire. I've gathered from all my friends playing with us, and playing Fire against my Rashotep. I went back to Rashotep from Miska, and we're playing, and eventually my curiosity gets the better of me, and I look at him and say, why are you here? Why are you such an enigmatic figure that I don't even remember you, but I've been here playing UFS for months, but I don't know you. And he looks at me, and he's like acting like a regular person this whole time, but then he just like stops smiling, and he looks me dead in the eye, and the whole room goes dark, like it gets desaturated, like we get like pulled into our own little pocket, of like time and space and stuff. And he looks at me and he says, like, I know that you got the heart of the cards before me, and you stole the one wish that Xavier gives you if you put all of his left legs together in the right way. So I'm never gonna forgive you for that. So I'm gonna be here to torture you for the rest of your life. And even if you don't even know about it, I'm like pulling the strings of all your misery and all the bullshit that happens to you. And every single time you lose an event in UFS, it's going to be because of me. Every single time one little bad thing happens to you, it's going to be because of me. And you're gonna live the rest of your life knowing it's because you took the left leg guy. You took Xavier's wish from me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's get back to the game. And so I'm playing like Rashotep, and I like Rashotep a lot because he's not a meta choice at the time, and he has some really cool character only cards, and I like the art on him especially too. That's probably the biggest reason, the art. He's got like one-handed crocodile grasp. He like can shut down a foundation for free, and it has stun too. And there's a lot of throw support from King being in this format for Void and Earth, and I'm playing off Void. And I can basically do a shit ton of damage. They can't like strange fashion it. So there's a lot of like Z-Mays and stuff, like Dylan. Dylan's playing Z-May, like, hey, Dylan. He's a pretty cool guy, and Dylan, so I can like kill him sometimes pretty easy, just because I like any like guy that like is 7 hand size, I can just kill him with throws. Alfard Maliki, one-headed crocodile grasp, flinging half Nelson, I just kill him. And if they have strange fashion, I'm just like, I'm Rashotep, and I like kill him like that. And that's how I become the best Rashotep player in UFS.